Animation Chronicle is out in the OCG, and it looks like we're actually going to be looking at Kuribohs today. What an interesting time, and some post-ban list action for the OCG. Let's dig on into this, shall we? Sure, love the crap out, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. Kuribohs, by the way. So, what's an entire grass that looks greener deck do? So, let's talk about some of these Kuribohs. So, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can discard this card, target one monster in either graveyard, except this card, special summon it to the field, but send it to the graveyard during the end phase. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can add a monster reborn from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Hey, that's tutorable, by the way. Then we have the ever so lovely Clear Kuriboh. When an opponent activates a monster effect that would inflict damage, quick effect, discard this card and negate that activation. When an opponent's monster goes direct attack, advantage this card from your graveyard to draw a card. Okay, some basic stuff. And if it is a monster, you can special summon it and then change the attack target to it. That's a lot on a Kuriboh, actually. We have one Cyber Dragon and one Hearse. So we can make these level 5 so that we can do the interaction with 5-star Twilight. Then we have triple Effect Failure, one copy of Electromagnetic Turtle, triple Jet Synchron, and then we have triple Curry Babylon. So gains 300 attack defense for each Kuriboh monster you control and in your graveyard. You can only use one of the following effects, Kirby Babylon, and only once that turn. So, if you have more monsters in your graveyard than your opponent does, you can special summon this card from your hand. Well, if we activate Grass, that should be easy. Okay. Let's see. During your main phase, you can return this card to your hand. If you do, special summon the 5 Kuriboh brothers from your hand and or graveyard. So as long as you mill all these little guys, you'll be good to go. So Kuriboh, remember these things are always Kuribohs. So if this card, or when this card or your Kuriboh monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a monster with 300 attack, 200 defense from your deck, except for a Kuriboh. And you contribute this card plus 4 other monsters from your hand or on the field to special summon out, the legendary Curry Babylon. Woohoo! And we also have triple Curry Bandit, but of course, alright, we need to have this good guy. We have triple copies of Kuriboh here. Same thing here, this is always treated as a Kuriboh card. When this card or your Kuriboh monster is destroyed by battle, you can add a spell and trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Kuriboh in the text, so 5-star Twilight. Alright, you can only use the following effects once per turn. When an attacking monster declares an attack while you control this monster or another Kuriboh, you change the attack as many other monsters you currently control as possible to 0, and if you do, negate that attack. So it just powers down your Kuribohs, but that's fine. We have 2 copies of Kuriboh. God, I love that name. So, quick effect, you discard this card, target a Kuriboh monster you control, gains 1500 attack, so your Kuriboh gets big, by the way. That's not till the end of the turn. That's permanently. You contribute this card you control plus 4 other monsters, and so add a Curry Bandit from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then immediately after it resolves, normal summon 1 Fiend monster. So this actually will put our good friend onto the field here, so we can trigger his effect. Then we have 2 Curry, just basic Kuribohs. Triple copies of Curry... Is it Kuriboh RN? Kuriboh? I don't know. At the end of the battle phase, you can discard this card, target 1 monster in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard this turn, and special summon it. And when an opponent's monster declares attack, banish this card from your graveyard, target any number of Kuriboh monsters in your graveyard, special summon them. Who wouldn't love a monster reborn for Kuribohs? Then we have triple Kuriboh. So, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can discard this card, add a Kuriboh monster from your deck to your hand, except for a Kuriboh. And then once per turn, quick effect, discard 1 trap card, target 1 phase of monster your opponent controls. This is 500 attacks. A meager power down, but that's fine. We have triple copies of Turquoise Wobbler, triple copies of Raiden, 1 Little Rainbow Kuriboh with triple copies of Charge, 2 copies of 5-star Twilight, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 1-for-1, 2 copies of Grass Looks Greener, and 1 Flute of Summoning Kuriboh. And then we have triple copies of Fiend Comedian. Oh my gosh. So toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, all of your opponent's cards in the graveyard are removed from play. If you call it wrong, send a number of cards equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyard from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Hello? We can set up our graveyard so we can Kuriboh our opponent. Good stuff. Then we have triple copies of Needlebug Nest. Then we have extra stuff down here. So we have 2 Underworld Goddess, 1 Celine, 2 copies of Link Kuriboh, 1 Geonator Transverser, 1 Alk, 1 Borland, 1 Axis Machine, 1 Utopic Future Dragon, 1 Utopic Future, 1 Recital Starling, 1 Symbol Robin, and then we have a Symbol Nightingale, and then we have an Amatrix down here for interactions. But that's Kuribohs, everybody. Quite an interesting little bunch of ideas that you can kind of shove into one deck and actually resolve. This is the level of innovation that I love to see from decks, like especially Grass Looks Greener. Yeah, I understand that this card's degenerate, But you can just slap this in your Kuriboh deck and mill out and laugh at your opponent. Like, what are they supposed to do? So, also the amount of, like, different Kuribohs that we just don't have yet is absolutely absurd at the end of the day here. Next up, we actually have the OCG stepping up and adapting Zoodiac's post-ban list. Now, their upcoming ban list here, unfortunately, Dryden is no longer in the world of living. Again, that happens way too much. So instead of, wanting to go play Tri-Brigade Zoodiac, well, they just were like, yeah, we'll just play regular Zoodiac. So this is basically what I think we're going to see going forward. And Lund sent me this and was like, hey, this is Zoodiac post list. I was like, all right, so we still have triple copies of Astral Blossom and Joyous Spring. One copy of Maximus. Oh, just kidding. It's Pankratops. Triple copies of Maxi, but of course, one copy of Nibiru. Two copies of Ram, one Rapier, triple Throwblade, and triple copies of Whiptail. Pretty basic stuff, all things considered. Sadly, they're only on 2 Tenki right now. Remember, the last list was also a massive consistency hit to Tenki as well. This card probably should have been hit a while ago. Then we have one Monster Reborn, triple copies of Pot of Desires, of course, turbo draw power, you're going to need it. We have one copy of Scapegoat so you can establish at least some sort of defense against the opponent. That's very interesting. We are not even playing Lynx to support this, it's just a defense line. We have one Barrage, and then we have 2 copies of Compulse, triple copies of Crackdown, one Imperial Order, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, triple copies of Solemn Judgment, triple copies of Solemn Steed Reich, and then one copy of Combo. Keep in mind that they still do want to grind with this deck, and still playing the one copy of Combo basically still gives you the ability to attach from the deck, and you'll still be able to do the same things that you still want to do with this. Now, this deck is still battle phase oriented and still Zoodiac oriented, so we basically have, filled out a lot of the spaces here. So we're still on 2 Tiger Mortars, 2 Hammer Bongs, triple copies of Chalconine, 2 copies of Borbo. Remember, Borbo's still the thing that makes this deck playable, alright? Hey man, you lose a Dryden, but I'll still get a Zeus. We have one Utopic Future Dragon. You already know how good this card is. With one Utopic Future, one Vespinato, and triple copies of the Wincon Machine. And then we have triple copies of Lancia, 2 copies of D-Shifter, 2 copies of Gamma with 1 driver. So awkward seeing Gamma at 2 in their format. We have 1 Harvey's Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, triple copies Dimensional Barrier, and 1 copy of Red Reboot here. Showing us that even in a world post-Dryden going bye-bye, I'm going to miss you, you can still adapt and bring some cool ideas to the table. And the last list for this video here, this is Tri-Brigade Zoodiac, or not, just kidding, it's Tri-Brigade with all of the new good cards here. Hey man, I'm really glad that you decided that you wanted to hit Tenki. That's fine. Because, we still have Bird Call. Like, we'll just go down and play Lyricalist with this build. I feel like the Lyricalist build is just better now in their format. Well, obviously, Dryden's gone, but we have triple copies of Astral Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 copy of the Barrel Canary, 1 Wagtail, 1 copy of Cobalt Sparrow, 1 Sapphire Swallow, triple copies of Turquoise Wobbler, triple copies of Maxi, 2 Gamma, triple copies of Fractal, 1 Karis, 2 copies of Kit, 2 Nerval, and 1 copy of Driver. Spells, we have 2 Call by the Grip, triple copies of Cross-Out Designator, 2 copies of Tenki, 1 Foolish Barrel, triple copies of Bird Call, 1 for 1, 2 Prosperity, 2 copies of Infinite Permanence, and 1 copy of Revolt. Wrapping up the main deck here. Extra deck down here, just 1 copy of Shirog, 1 copy of Regal, 1 copy of Frigite, 1 copy of Bear Broom. Then we have 1 Almirage, 1 Apollosa, 1 Double Dragon Lords, 1 Access Code, 1 copy of the Utopic Future Dragon, 1 Utopic Future, 2 copies of Recital Starling, 1 copy of the Ensemble Robin, 1 copy of the Assembled Nightingale. Then we have 1 copy of the Divine Sky Thunder Zeus. And then the side deck here we have triple copies of Lancia, but of course, 1 copy of DD Crow, 1 Pankratops, 1 copy of Ghost Bell, 2 copies of Nibiru, 1 Harpy's Feathers, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Twin Twisters, 1 Anti-Spell Fragrance, an Imperial Order, and a Red Reboot here. Wrapping up your chunk of OCG this week. Isn't it crazy just how nuts Utopic Future Dragon is? Like, even in like Zoodiac, and seeing that you dedicate 2 cards to make this in this deck, like, this is actually kind of nuts. So what do you guys think about this week's OCG deck list? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the love and crap out, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content, and I look forward to reading down in the comments what you guys actually think about these cool lists, especially the Kuriboh one. Alright, I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on in the day. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.